Hi, Willow here, and welcome back to Willow's Witchy Garden. Today I want to talk about tomatoes and how we can decide which tomatoes will grow the best in our garden. Last year, I tried my hand at planting several heirloom variety beefsteaks, large slicing types of tomatoes in my garden. And I failed miserably. And I almost just gave up entirely on the idea of growing those kinds of tomatoes and switched over to determinate Roma type tomatoes because I figured I'd have better luck with those. You see, I live in New Orleans, Louisiana area, and that's zone 9B. So we get really hot and really humid. And so tomatoes that aren't bred or, grown to do this kind of environment don't do well. And so I ended up with early blight and powdery mildew and every kind of disease you could think of. And I think it was because I didn't have any airflow last year. But this year I got a little smart, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing because I'm hoping this time I'll get some sort of reward for all my hard work. So this year I have made some changes. You see, I only planted 4 of the heirloom variety larger slicing type tomatoes. I've also put them in a different location. See, last year I had them up against this back fence wall. They really didn't get any airflow. And so with that and our high humidity, I think I had them too close together, no airflow, and they were just doomed from the start. So this year, I put them in grow bags. For one, I only have 4. I have a white Tomasol, orange peach, which is my single seed challenge for 2021. I have a Paul Robeson, and I have a mortgage lifter. Now, the other change that I have made is, as you can see, I put fence wire on this fence, on this wooden fence. However, I've left a nice about almost 10 to 12 inch gap between the fence and the wire. So I'm hoping that that will give them more airflow for one. So that's the first start. The other thing I have done this year is I have grown mostly determinate varieties for anything that I wanted to basically slice or make into sauces and things like that. I do have several that are the cherry variety still, and those did okay for me last year. And I'm growing them the same way I did last year in tomato cages. They do get a little crazy and they do get tall. I just kind of wrap them around the cages and they seem to do okay. I didn't have any problem with those last year. Okay, so I brought you back inside because honestly, I slipped in the mud. It's been raining all night, all yesterday, and the sun finally came out, so I thought I'd go out and record video, and well, I almost fell on my butt. So I thought I better go back inside and I'll finish the video in there. So I wanted to go over the seeds that I chose to grow for my garden and for my area. So I was telling you that I had chosen to do more determinate varieties. Now with determinate tomatoes, you have to remember that they are only going to grow to 3 to 4 feet tall. They're going to put on all their blossoms. They're going to give you fruit, and then they're finished. So what I'm going to do is succession planting. So I already have seedlings started because I'm figuring that in the next 4 to 6 weeks, the plants that I have outside, you saw how big they were already, they should be done with all of their fruit and I'll be pulling those out and putting the new ones in to get started. But what I have growing right now out there in the garden, I bought some from Baker Creek, and we have Roma, Martino Roma, and Principe Borghese. Of course, the two Romas are like Roma type tomatoes. They're great for sauces and things like that. And the Principe Borghese are really good for sun drying. I think they're a little bit drier, so they'll be really good for sun drying. And I thought, let's try something different. Those were the three determinants that I had found that sounded interesting from Baker Creek. So as time went on, I tried again to get some more Romas going, which I have a couple that are doing okay. But I've been having such issues with fungus gnats, like a lot of you probably are having too, in our inside growing space, that I finally got to the point where I'm like, maybe I need to try something different. Maybe I need to try a different seed vendor. Let's see what else is out there. And I was watching Haas Tools Row by Row. They have their show, and I watch a lot of their videos. They have a lot of good information. They are surrounded by commercial farmers. They were in the past market gardening. So they do things a little different than all organic. They are experimenting. I see them now doing no-till and a lot of different things. They're trying things differently now. But I thought, you know what? They are in Georgia. Their zone is a little cooler than mine. However, they do have high humidity. And so they offered some different varieties of seeds that were more suited for my climate. They can handle high heat and they can handle high humidity. They're more disease resistant. And so I tried them. So I purchased 3 of them. I got a Bella Rosa, I got Tachi, and I got Jolene. Now, when I bought them, I didn't realize they were going to look different. They are actually pelleted seeds. They are a seed that are created, they're a hybrid, so they're not just an heirloom, they're a hybrid. So I'm not going to be able to save the seeds from these to grow next year. I'll have to buy seeds again if I want to grow them, which is okay. If I like the plants, I will repurchase seeds. The thing is, I want to show you this because it's really interesting, is the pelleted seeds are different. So I'm going to pull these out. And honestly, let me pull this down so you can see the seeds. As you can see, they almost look like miniature Tic Tacs. They are different than your normal seeds. So I thought, oh, those don't look normal. What am I growing here? Well, the thing is, these are easier if you have like a mechanical kind of seeder, a planter. I plant by hand, so I don't have to worry about it so much, but those are easier for commercial gardeners or for large scale like market gardening to plant the seeds a little easier than your average tomato seeds that you would see. So I planted them, and honestly, I'm happy so far. I've done research on pelleted seeds, and it does say that they may take a little bit longer to germinate, but I planted these 4 days ago, and already the Bella Rosa, all 6 seeds have come up. I'm waiting on the Tachi and the Jolene, but just seeing that the Bella Rosa came up in 4 days really made me happy. So I'm going to show you now what is going on in the seedling room as well, so that you see how well I do and how sometimes I don't always succeed. Okay. So these are the first batch of Roma and Martino Roma that I had planted back on February 19th. Now, they just did not take off like the first batch of tomatoes that I had planted back in December did. So I'm still going to go ahead and plant them, I think. But like only 3 are doing well, and the others look kind of, well, sad. And And I know it's because I've been having fungus gnat issues and they tend to suck on the roots. I constantly treat with peroxide water, but you know, you're not always going to win the battle. So I do have these 4 in those 3 pots that look the best. So I'm going to trying to focus on those. As you can see in the background there, I accidentally broke my one yellow pear tomato outside. So I took the thing that broke off, the branch that broke off, and I ended up finding they had some suckers on them. So I'm planting the suckers. We're going to see if we can get some roots on those, and I'll try to replant those. But yeah, not doing so hot on the first batch of Romas. Okay, second batch of Romas. I planted these on March 12th. And honestly, yeah, for 12 days, they're not doing that bad. They are doing much better than the other batch are doing. So far, they look good. They look fairly healthy. And I'm watching these, and I think I've got the fungus gnats under control finally. It just took a long time this year. And here are the Bella Rosa. And honestly, they look pretty nice. They just came up overnight and they're already doing really well. So I've got 3 more that are coming up in another pot as well of the Bella Rosa. So I'm just waiting now on the Tachi and the Jolene to pop up. So that's what's going on in the seedling room. As you can see, I don't always succeed, even, you know, as long as I've been doing this, I don't always succeed with my seedlings, but I do my best. And the one thing that makes me a gardener is I keep trying. I'm not going to give up just because some seedlings don't make it. I'm not going to give up just because I end up with fungus gnats. I'm not going to give up just because I did something wrong last year, or at least I think I did something wrong last year in the garden, and I want to try something new to see if it works better. Our garden is our classroom, and we have to keep on learning. Every year I learn something different. Now I'm trying some new kinds of seeds. Yeah, I didn't think I would ever grow hybrids, but you know what? I want to see if I can get more production out of these. Now I'm only trying these 3. So we will see how that turns out, and I'll keep you updated, of course. I'm not going to just leave you hanging. So if you enjoyed this video, if you got something out of the video, if it has encouraged you in any way to keep on plugging away at growing new things or trying to grow things in different locations or different methods, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you like my videos, also don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell icon so that you'll be notified every time I upload another video. And leave comments below. I would love to hear your experiences with your tomatoes. And every time I get a comment, it also helps my channel grow. But I want to know what's going on with you. I want to help you grow a better garden. And maybe you can give me advice so I can grow a better garden. Because aren't we all in this together? And until next time, stay healthy and be blessed.